Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife that I've had in my collection for quite a bit. This is a Hinderer Knives Eklipse. Let's talk about it. All right, today we're reviewing the Hinderer Knives Eklipse. This is one of the few Hinderer knives that's actually stayed in my collection. I've had quite a few lately, and this is the one that I kept. Now the other ones I would have kept, but I came across a bunch of grails and I sold them so I could get something else. And the one that I did not want to get rid of, this was it. So I would say this is probably my favorite Hinderer, so we'll go with that. The name of the knife is the Eklipse. The knife manufacturer is Hinderer Knives. Rick Hinderer is the one who designed this, right? And the manufacturer is Hinderer Knives. They make these in the USA made, S45VN blade steel. This is a cool design. It's supposed to be a progression of the XM18. If I understand correctly, the history behind there. I like it. I like this a lot. It came originally with JG10 scales. I actually bought this horse titanium insert scale to add to it. I also bought this Lynch Northwest clip. It's a mill titanium clip to add on here as well. Two upgrades I feel like were absolutely worth it. And I also put Skiff Caged ceramic ball bearings in there. Now it had some it's a tri-way, so if you notice this has a little tri-way lock thing here. You could do Teflon, you can do phosphor bronze, or you could do cage ball bearings. Now the ones that they include are steel ceramic ball bearings, and you know they're fine, but I like Skiffs. Skiffs are just a whole lot better in my opinion. They just give you just more consistently better fluid action. Oops, just better overall. So let's talk about the knife. The materials. Titanium scales. This is the working finish. I did do a little polishing on this. I didn't like as much as it was. And I had to do a little on this side because when they do this horse titanium thing here, the edges are sharp. And so when I started kind of buffing that out, I kind of buffed the rest of the scale. And then I thought for it to match, we did a little here. So we may continue to do this. It just looks like the knife's been used, right? And then this is a satin finish over here. So it's starting to match a little bit more on here as well. I like that. I like the in-between sort of you know, kind of not perfect, you know, kind of finish that makes this just seem like a, oops, sorry. It's been a while since I've reverse flicked this guy. I haven't carried this one lately, which is interesting. I need to carry him more because I really do like this knife a lot. Anyways, this is such a cool knife in so many regards. Opening and closing, you have thumb studs. Technically, they are the blade stop pins, so they're not technically thumb studs per se, but absolutely can use them. Just got to make sure you don't put your finger on the lock bar because it makes it very difficult. So if you're going to do the thumb stud, just get down low, flip it up, and you're fine. The flipper works really well. Now it's kind of weird because you have this jimping on this side. Why would you have jimping on this side if you're going to be doing the light switch to flip it that way? Well, you can put your finger here and you can do the push button, and the push button works really well on this. I like that. The push button locks, you know, gets in there and does do a flip. Now I can't quite hold this clip, come down here and flip it. I have to do a up high and flip, and it works just fine. So this is kind of like, hold it like you would if you're right-handed, right? So if I'm right-handed, I'm up here, I'm flipping this way. So if, as a left-handed, if I'm up here, I'm flipping that way. It works just fine that way. Just keep that in mind. Some people like to hold it low and flip. I haven't yet, my fingers aren't long enough maybe, but it works fine. I think the action is phenomenal. This is by far my favorite one to flip, and of course I keep doing that because I do that on other knives, so that's memory thing there. Action, dead nut centered, really do enjoy that. The action, no blade play, everything's solid in there. Just great manufacturing overall. This one does come with a steel bar insert. And is there an over travel stop? Let me see. Hold on, I can't see. I forget if they have one. Oh, this is the over travel stop right there, but well, look at that. You have two over travel stops. I didn't realize that. This is their traditional over travel stop that they used for a long time. It's kind of one of their designs. You see that in Spartan, I think. Where is it? What's the other company? Starts with an S. I can't remember the name. It's a knife company that I don't ever own, or I don't like their design, so I don't have them. But clip that, and then in here the steel bar insert over travel stop. They all work as keep you from going too far, so you're not going to bend that lock bar, which is nice. I've tuned this where the action is just perfect. It's controlled. It's a controlled drop shut, right? It's not like a guillotine. It does control drop shut, which to me is my favorite, right? I enjoy that nice control drop shut. So that's how it opens and closes. Frame lock, it's not a gigantic frame lock, so you can again get your finger up there and be fine. Good presentation. You got a couple of grooves here. It does lock you in a little bit, so if you have bigger hands, smaller hands, maybe that could be annoying, but I like it. Plenty of room for my big, large hands with big, meaty fingers. So extra large, double extra large hands, I think you have plenty of room. You can't really choke up here. It's sort of a trigger position. I guess you could hold it right here if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend. There's jimping up here. It does lock you in. It's small, but it does work well. It's sort of a harpoon blade shape. I would call this harpoons, almost a harpoon sponto harpoon, whatever you want to call it. Nice wedge. You can control the cut. I think all of those is really nice. So nice chamfering all the way around. I think it's really, really cool. All right, blade material S45VN blade steel, which I think is the best steel that they do. As far as I'm concerned, they just really do an outstanding job. I know they were doing 20 CV and Magna Cut, and wasn't really, but I've heard recently the recent Magna Cut, they might have actually nailed that down. So that might be something worth to check out in the future for sure. All right, so let's do some weights and measurements real quick. I'm going to guess it's about 5.5 ounces, right? Maybe more. 5.4 ounces. 5.4 ounces. So that's not bad. Not a gigantically heavy blade. I mean, for as much titanium there is. Now, let's look in here. Yeah, there is definitely some great weight relief on this custom scale right here. And you can see the horse in there. You have some standoffs back here, but you can see all the milling going on here. On this side, there's not so much, but there you go. All right, let's look at the overall length on this guy. Overall length is 8 1/4 inches. Total length, that's not bad. For your grip area, you've got 4 1/8 of an inch, which is pretty good. Blade length itself is 3 5/8. 3 5/8. Cutting length is 3 3/8 total length. All right, so let's look at blade stock thickness. It's going to be a thick blade, I will tell you that. There's no doubt in my mind this is a thick one. So we're dealing with 165 thousandths of an inch. So not a thin blade, definitely got some meat to it. Kind of a slice, they call it a slicer blade, but it does come down pretty thin. But this is not going to be super thin cutting wise. It does get pretty wide, but got a nice thick tip. Definitely great for poking in dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, cases of water, all sorts of boxes that you want to get into. So I think that's kind of cool. All right, so what's the cost of this one? Well, base is $425, so, or $450, sorry, on the Eklipse is $450. And so if you were to get just that, it would fall into the higher end knife. It'd be under $600. You add this scale, it's $250, so that then puts it into $700. Then it puts it definitely into the custom mid-tech realm, right? So that's $700. You add this clip right here, it's about another $100. So now you get into the $800, and you add the skiff, that's another 20 whatever dollars. So now you're into the $820 whatever price range for this particular knife. I think it's worth it. I think it's absolutely stunning. If you're not a huge fan of titanium scales, you can definitely save quite a bit of money, but this is just kind of a nice touch. I think it's really cool. Typically I just get the regular one, but the horse one was available. I would never get the horse one with the different anodization because I couldn't polish that down. It would be a waste. I'd only do it where I could buff it out a little bit. And this worked out, I think, nicely. So I like it. I like it. All right, purpose, EDC hard use collection piece. For some people, this is a safe queen. Yeah, absolutely, you could make that. It also is a hard use knife, EDC. I actually hard use this knife. This and my McNeese, my Mac 2, I hard use these knives pretty regularly. My TRM Atom, which is crazy, but I do like hard using these knives. It's just a knife that I feel really comfortable using, and it's a great knife. Is EDC, absolutely. This clip makes it super, super comfortable. It allows it to be full deep carry, which I think is really stunning. I love that. It's certainly a collection piece if you want it to be, but I carry and collect, so that works for me. All right, overall handles, open and closing handles is great. Chamfering all the way around, super comfortable. This is rounded, no hot spots, no sharp spots. I can definitely grip it. It's nicely chamfered. There's some jimping here, which is always nice. So if you're doing a push cut or a pull cut, you have some texture there, right? That's always nice. Your hand's not going to slide in and out. I think that's really cool, the jimping up here. But the jimping is functional. The clip, is there a clip? There's not really a lanyard clip you could tie around this pin itself, this lanyard standoff, these 3 standoffs. You can make this, put a lanyard there. I mean, I don't think the blade gets super close to that, does it? No. I mean, if it's a thin one, it could work, but I don't mind. I don't need a lanyard, so I'm perfectly okay with it. The clip, the original clip is not bad. It works. If you like the original clip, go for it, but I like this clip as well. I like this extra nice clip here. To me, that just is more functional. All right, opening and closing, the feel is phenomenal. Just super, super comfortable. My favorite, now you got to clear that detent. You see that? So normally I go down here and I'm cleared with a detent. If I don't clear that detent, then you get a little double clutch situation here. So if you go a little high, you got to keep that in mind. You can get past it, but just do that and you're fine. But when you do that, the opening and closing is just, to me, is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I love it. And reverse flick, all that stuff, all that is really great. So fidget factor. Oh, by the way, let me do it again. Middle finger reverse bonus flick. Yeah, all day long. That works really well, especially with this texture of the material. So to me, that's a bonus. So I'm going to give this a 6.5. It's going to 6. I'm going to give it a 7. This will be a 7 out of 10 as far as fidgetability, which I think is phenomenal. That's one of the reasons why I really like it. What do I think on the fidgetability scale? I think it's pretty phenomenal. Now, if you wanted this to be perfect, where you could fidget and flip it down here, then you could take points off. But I don't mind this, because this is just how a left-handed person would hold a knife and flip it, right? So if I was left-handed and I did that, that's exactly how I do it on the right hand. I would hold it like that and flip it. So right, my fingers, I don't even use the clip on this one, I use the scale to do it over here. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna give it 100. I'm gonna give this 100. The scales, the how it rises and kind of has a grade, that makes it really comfortable to use. They're not sharp and uncomfortable. There's plenty of room to get behind them. Unlike some of the, I think the XM18, they're a little tighter. It's a little harder to get to, can't quite get the same angle. And I really like this one. It's a better angle to it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 100. Is this recommended? 100%. 100% recommended. This is a fantastic, this is my favorite Hinderer knives out there, period. I love the Project X. Super, super nice, big old boy. Great knife. It's a cool looker. It's just not one I carry. The XM18, I liked it. I had the non-flipper, which was my favorite version. Again, really nice. I had an automatic, really nice. I had a Jurassic, really nice. Now, I would someday like to get the, what is it? The Max, no, there's one that they have. I forget which one it is. It's the, looks like a dagger, but I have yet to handle that one and review it, but that's the one I would like to check out at some point. But this is absolutely my favorite Hinderer knives out there. Really, really do enjoy this, and it's 100% recommended. This will actually go into my favorites as well. This is absolutely one of my favorites because I'm keeping this one. It's definitely made all the other knives for favorites, so for sure. Phenomenal knife, phenomenal tool, really great, really comfortable, really great user in so many ways. I'm very happy with this. So I will tell you that. Very, very, very positive about this particular knife and experience. Let's do some up close pictures so you guys can take a little close picture here and look at this. So here's the blade. Now I might polish this up a little bit more. You can see the swedge here works really well. Standoffs, the thumb studs work there. You have the jimping here. Have this beautiful milled titanium clip here. Beautiful texture. The horse right there, really nice. I love that. Standoffs. You have this clip there. Standard clip is really nice, but I really do like this Lynch Northwest clip. I think it's really worth it. It's a nice upgrade if you haven't considered it. Back here, you can do tip up, tip down. So it's obviously it could be both ways if you wanted to. I would never use that, and I think they all come in the other way. It does have these special screws. You can do what's called a spanner screw. You can get those. I think the one I use is a spanner screw number 4. It's in my toolkit over here. Where is it? Where's my spanner screw? Here it is. This, by the way, you can get their custom. I'm not going to say don't get their custom, but if you do get a spanner screw, number 14, so it's the number 14, and that's the one that fits right here. Spanner screw number 14 works just like one of their customs. So I got that, and I think it's fine. And then you get a flathead screwdriver up there. Usually it's a larger one. These right here are Allen wrenches, just so you know. Allen wrenches right here. You see these Allen wrenches? This over here is Phillips. These two guys are Phillips, just like these two guys here are Phillips as well. So Allen wrenches right here, Phillips right here. This is a Torx. So this is the only Torx on here. And then over here, these are also Allen wrenches as well. I would recommend when you take these apart, don't ever put Loctite on these guys. Don't ever put Loctite on these guys. That's the one thing I would recommend never to do, right? Or else you're gonna have to be gripping these. They hold pretty well in place without Loctite. You just tighten them up really well. So I think they're fine. Flathead screwdriver here works really well as well. I do Loctite my pivot. I think it's really important. There's a steel bar insert over travel stop. Is there a little extra cutaway? You don't see extra cutaway, but from here there's chamfering on the inside and the outside. And this is a flat chamfering. It's not a radius, which I appreciate. And I could definitely get my big old meaty finger in there, and it's not over tight, so it's easy to disengage the lock, right? And you can flip it, and you can see the engagement of the lock bar. We're at a good, oh, let's focus. We're at a good 30%, and it's steel on steel, which is nice. I like that. Again, the jimping back here is very functional. This is cut out. It's not sharp, which I appreciate as well. The clip is well past here, so you're not getting bunching up here, so that's really nice as well. Here's the back one. You do have a little billboarding here. It's not terrible. Over here you have the Hinderer, and here it's not terrible. I mean, it's typical for that. And you have the tri-way little indicator here where you can do different steel bar. You know, you can do the cage bearings. You can do the Teflon washer. You can do the phosphor bronze washer. So different options there. And a flat grind, little swedge, like a Sponto sort of, you know, harpoon sort of looking. I like it. I dig it. Love the texture. I would have loved one day to see the texture like the Project X had texture on both sides. That would be super cool if they ever did that. I wish they would, but oh well. All right, so let's get our nice little shot for our video. What do y'all think about that? I like the horse. I think it's really cool. If you haven't already got those, I think that's one of their cooler things. It's a classic USA well-made knife. This definitely would be in the mid-tech realm. This definitely puts it, this little extra fancy here does make it a little more expensive, but I think it's worth it. I think it's very enjoyable. Very functional knife. One of my favorites out there. All right, let me know what you think. Which Hinderer do you have? What's your favorite? Do you like the Eklipse? Do you not like the Eklipse? You know, I think that's why I love there's choices. There's choices out there. You can spruce it up, you can make it look fancy, or you don't. You don't have to. You can just get the basic. It's up to you, man. You do you, right? It's your knife, your collection. Buy what you love and love what you buy. So there you go. I'm just sharing you my experience, what I think about it, what I enjoy about it, why I think it's great quality, things I've did to enhance my experience with this one, and why I love it, and why I'm recommending it. So there you go. All right. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or entertaining, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the videos really helps me out. Allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you everyone out there who watches the videos, enjoys the content, even part of the live stream, part of the community. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you. If you haven't already, maybe consider hitting that notification button down below as well so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you guys. You do two amazing things for me. One, you are like my workout buddies. You encourage me. I love doing this, but you remind me why. So thank you. The other thing is because of your generous support of the channel, you allow me to do things sooner than I thought I could. For instance, you allow me to do weekly giveaways every week, and I appreciate that. You allow me to check out knives and cover the cost of shipping. It gets expensive, trust me, especially get some fancy ones. I appreciate that. You allow me to do more things, and I appreciate you guys so very much. And because of that, I want to do two exclusive things for you guys. Once I do a once-a-month members exclusive giveaway. So every week we do a budget banger giveaway, but after that, once a month, I do a members giveaway. So on that month, on that week, if you're a member, you have two chances for giveaways, right? And I try to make sure it's something nice between $100 and $300, right? Something that's you would either enjoy winning or give as a gift, right? That's the first thing. The other thing I also want to do is for all brand new channel members, I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. So if you're a brand new channel member, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker. And that kind of applies to anybody. If you are currently actively a member, got to just be an active member, and you've never asked for a channel sticker and received a channel sticker, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. That goes for anybody who's brand new, which is usually most everyone, but maybe you're a member all along and you just never asked, or maybe you were a member, lost your membership, and you got a membership back. Email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you that channel sticker and say thank you. And if you're all interested, hey, how do I become a channel member? How do I get one of these stickers? How do I get in the weekly giveaway? How do I get the cool emojis that you get in the live chats and whatever? Hey, check out the link down below in the description. There's a link for how to become a member. 3 different tiers. Would love to have you. But please don't ever feel obligated to be a member. Do it because you want to. I would be honored. I'd be grateful. But if you are, thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, I appreciate that. Also, if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.